It should be illegal for it to get this hot. So I stopped by to get some Moro juice, and if you forgot what Moro juice is, my car's name is Morona, and the Moro juice is, of course, is gas. But anyway, so I was at the gas station, then some guy is coming out and he greets me, and I'm like, hi. And then when I make it to the car to start refueling, I happen to be parking right behind him, and he goes,
You're the one who drives.
and I'm like, yes?
Oh, they're awesome, reliable cars, aren't they?
Oh no, my heart stopped almost. I said, no, it's a Corolla. But you just cannot mistake my car for a Camry and expect for me to be normal about it, you know? I mean, I love Camrys, but oh no, they don't look the same at all. So if you guys remember, some months ago, it doesn't really matter, I made a video about 50 facts about me. And in one of the facts, I expressed that I had beaten the hell out of my depression. Well, that is true. Sometimes I have flashbacks of the stuff that would happen to me that would hurt me when I was during that stage when my perception of the world around me wasn't the same, let alone a healthy one. So I just wanted to share with you guys the things that I was told that hurt me, and that I hope people learn to not say that to someone even if they're compelled to, because you may think that you're helping, but you're not. One of those things was, maybe you would be happier if you tried. Unless you go through this, you just don't get it. It's not about me choosing to have a pessimistic view of the world. It's just that my mind, my brain, chemically and physically is more inclined to see the world unlike the way that you see it if you don't experience depression. Because of the way our brain is, we have an extra sensitivity about the environment and about just social instances in general. It's not that we are choosing to be negative, it's just that your mind is constantly on a defensive mode, and anything that gets off your comfort zone, your routine, your mind will overreact to it in an attempt to keep you safe. The problem with that is that our brains tend to not understand when that's rational and when it's not. And normally it is not. So we have to be trained, and our brain has to be altered chemically to make that work. Now, fortunately, the treatment that I underwent for it, I steered away from drugs because really I felt like giving me plenty of advice and just leading me through the right way and path, given my degree of discipline and trust that I have over authority figures, I felt like all that I needed was a good leading hand to make it through. I decided to not really play with medicine, and in addition, in the past, anytime I have been prescribed with anything, my body tends to reject it. So I wasn't about to start introducing chemicals that may possibly make me feel worse in the long run, or they may cure something, but the rest of me starts suffering other kinds of consequences. I just felt like I identified my problem, which is I just feel lost, I feel defenseless, I feel vulnerable, I feel confused. So let me get close to folks who I know will take care of me. And it worked. Another thing that I used to be told was, you need to take your happiness into your own hands. What do you think I do every single day of my life? It's just a big struggle. Like, everything feels like a burden. It's not that I am choosing to be down, to be in bed without energy, or bail on friends' plans, feel anxiety about going to social gatherings. It's just that I feel this nervousness, this knot in my stomach, and it doesn't help that I'm shy too. I don't know if I'm shy as a consequence of this, or if I'm just naturally a shy person. But I want to say I'm just naturally a shy person because as a child, I don't think that I suffered from depression like to the extremes that I did as a teenager, but I was definitely a happier child, a happier person as a child. And even back then, I was shy, so I don't think those go hand in hand, in my case. But it really stank when people would tell me that my happiness is in my hands. I know that it is for everybody, but the difference is that you have your motivation, your goals, and you can stick to them, whereas I need to be pushed a little bit and supported to get there. When you're in school, some things you are really good at, some things you are a fast learner for, but other things take you time. Other things you're just slow at. Like I'm slow at math, so you cannot expect for me to keep up in an advanced math class with the rest of the class at the same rate because my brain is just not wired that way. I don't see numbers and patterns as clearly as everybody else does, but it doesn't mean that I can't learn. It's just that you need to invest a little more time, a little more patience with me. That's all. And it doesn't matter how long it takes you to learn something as long as you get it. And I was that person. On some courses, it would take me time, but I would get it. Some other courses, I would get it before we even touched the chapter. And I had to wait for the rest of the class to catch up. Anyway, rambling aside. Another thing was people would tell me, why don't you look happier? Try changing the way your face looks. You're always so serious, you're always looking down. And I'm like, you don't understand that I'm tired every day of my life. Even though back then I was sedentary, I was tired. And I honestly didn't have anything truly exciting going on in my life. Anytime I would try to make plans that would excite me, something would happen and they wouldn't take place. Let it be that I was deprived of seeing someone, or that my friends' parents decided to just like shut down our plans and whatnot because we were teens. We didn't have much of a say on our time. That stuff made me feel down because I was already lonely back then. I was finally starting to make friends and I was being deprived of seeing them. I'm old now. There's no way I'm going to suffer from that now. I can just pack up and leave, go wherever I want, when I want. And I don't have to consult anybody. And my friends are the same way. They don't have to consult anybody, so we can just go about our days, make our plans, and they will happen unless unforeseen circumstances pop up. I hated being told that. I hated to be told, smile more, or just, people with your face ruin my day. And what they meant by that is that, I was just tired and moving my facial muscles took a lot of energy, believe it or not. I was being judged for that. It felt horrible. The worst part about it is when it comes from a source that it's supposed to love you and take care of you, or that I trusted a lot, and they hurt me. Fortunately, I don't hold grudges, so they've been forgiven. Another thing that I get told, or that I used to be told as a depressed person, is that I just cannot see the bright stuff in life, or that I have challenges that I'll never overcome on my own. And I'm like, what does that even mean? It only means that my mind is sensitive to some things, and some things I lack self-motivation for, but it doesn't mean that my value as a human is less than yours. Because heaven knows that I'm a pretty intelligent being, and I have accomplished stuff that other people hasn't accomplished. And just like other people have accomplished things that I haven't. But you have to figure out why that is. Do we have the same interests? Do we have the same goals? What have we done to accomplish those goals? What if I'm not working toward fulfilling that goal? Another thing that I was told as a depressed person was, maybe you should go out more. Maybe you should dress differently. Maybe you should listen to different music. Maybe pick up a hobby and whatnot. I'm like, it's not about the music I listen to. Because when I listen to music, I'm more worried about instrumentals and how voices sound beyond the messages of it. I never say about a song that I can relate to it. That's somebody else's story. It's not mine. Some lyrics can be pretty truthful, pretty relatable, but I don't use that as my way to base my life on. That's what I'm trying to say. I just think that's crazy. It's like people think that you're not trying to live happily, that you are deliberately behaving that way to maybe get attention or feel treated special or be privileged. No, this is like all of your energy, you're alive, but all of your energy, all of your strength is being drained. It's not like when you get bitten by a bug, you can swat it and it's over. With depression, it's not like that. You don't even have something to battle physically. It's not like you can look at your arm and be like, oh yeah, depression's right there, bam, I'm gonna hit it. You don't have a source for it. It's in your mind. It's deep within you. You have to figure out ways to tackle it yourself based on what you are going through. And that's what makes this particularly challenging. Sometimes you don't even know that you have this issue until it becomes severe, or it's way too late, or you find yourself skipping meals and becoming sick because it's advanced so much and you just had no way of identifying it, because you think, oh, maybe it's the effects of the cold, maybe it's the effects of my exhaustion. That's what makes this particularly dangerous. Another thing that makes it worse is the stigma. The examples of the stuff that I just shared with you that people said to me that hurt me. What makes you think that I'm going to be willing to seek out help when that's the way people have been treating me? That's what people tell me. That's how people see me. If you just listen to the people, don't offer your solutions because you just don't know about it well enough, if you don't suffer from it, you'll be helping much more. Sometimes all that the depressed person needs is for you to listen to them. They figure out what they need on their own. I was like that. At other times, they may be like, I think it would work if you accompanied me to, say, therapy. That is your way of showing support. Showing support is not attacking us. It's not saying, you just need to try more. Maybe if you tried more to be happy, it would work out. It's not like that. So if you know anybody who struggles with this, or they express themselves very sad and very negative, just be patient with this person. It takes an awful lot of courage to open up about this at all. And a lot of people, it goes undiagnosed or unaccounted for. And it's for that very reason. Fortunately, the adults in my life were fantastic. I always had someone I could recur to. And to this day, I have, now that I'm an adult, I have other fellow adults who I can still recur to for any help or anything or any support. I have more resources since I know where to go. For those of you who just don't know much about this, or the whole idea of it terrifies you, or if you yourself are in that position where you're just struggling like this, just what I did was I asked myself, what's happening with me? What would help me? And go get it. And fortunately, in my case, it wasn't severe enough to where I needed medication. And sometimes I get moments when I tend to behave or react like I used to back then, but I immediately catch myself and I'm like, no, that's not the way of coping with overwhelming situations. Some people will need to recur to medicine. Some people may not. Some people just may need to talk about it. Have someone faithful helping out. Some people may completely be independent. All they need is time and space. I was a combination of needing someone and needing my space. Definitely support, patience, loyalty is ultimately what cured me. I just asked myself, how did I get to where I am at today? And definitely it was thanks to the connections that I have made. Alright guys, what do you think? Have you suffered from this? Do you know anybody who does? What worries you the most? What do you think is more challenging? What's your opinion on medication? Some people out there feel just like me. Some people out there completely believe in it or need it. Like I told you guys, the reactions I get with medication is my mood tends to change and my stomach may reject them. Like I'm being drilled a new belly button. Exaggerated, but seriously, That's about as best as I can describe it. Let me know your thoughts, and as always, thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you soon.